Hello guys, welcome back to this exciting tutorial. We are going to look at how to solve one of the most important thing in Photoshop, that is how to remove image from a particular background. Probably replace it with a plain background or any background of your choice. So today I'm going to show you a basic way of doing it, then I will also make another video tutorial on a more advanced way of solving this problem. So the reason why I'm dividing this into two is that if you look at this image, the background that is attached to it is not so complicated, and the image itself is not that complicated. It's pretty much easy to get this image out of this background. But by the time we look at another image that has more of a complicated background, the same way we treated it might not likely be the same approach we use in that particular image. Alright, let's get on with this and see how we can sort out this. Now first of all, I like making a copy of this so that I don't destroy the original. So what to do is to drag it to this layer thumbnail, and we have a copy. So this is the background, this is the copy. So we are going to work on the copy. Now the easiest thing to do when you are doing this is to use this lasso tools. So we have the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool. The three lasso tools here, they all make selection. The difference is that the way they make this selection is not the same thing with one another. So let's pick the first one. The first one will allow you to click and drag around the edges of the target, and mind you, if you are not using a Wacom tablet, or probably your hand is not so strong using the mouse, you might not get the trace you want like this. So when you do this, you might end up having a result like this, and I don't like using it that much in tracing out image. Now the second one is much easier. This will allow you to, I can hold down the hotkey to zoom in so that you can see this. This will allow you to click, then keep on clicking as I'm doing. So as I'm clicking this way, I'm tracing the edges of that image. Now the advantage of this is that you might end up getting a perfect result sometimes if you trace it properly, but the disadvantage is that it takes time to trace. You can see. Now another thing you should know is that if the image is having hair, a lot of hair, like the other part, I'm going to make another tutorial when the image has a lot of hairs, so this might not really be that efficient to use this method I'm showing you now. But don't worry yourself, I'll still make another tutorial on how to sort that out. Now if you make a mistake, probably your tracing is not so accurate, you can use the backspace key to go back and start all over with the trace. Okay, so I'm gonna just trace this carefully. So you can see, just click gradually. So I will pause the video and trace all over the body, then we come back and continue. Alright, so this is done. You can see we've been able to trace these like this. Now after tracing this, the next thing to do is to go to your layer or press Ctrl G on the keyboard. From layer you can see the shortcut layer via copy. So it's just gonna make a copy of that trace. You can see the background is gone, but one thing we should have done is to refine the edges of these before we actually do that, so that we have more of a better result. Now let me just show you what I mean by that. In case you didn't do that, if we decided to fill this with white background, is looking it's a little bit okay, but by the time we use a black background by pressing the Alt backspace key to fill with the foreground color, you are going to find out that most of our traces, some part is a little bit jagged and so on and so forth. Now what we should have done is, before we move this trace out by pressing Ctrl J, we should have quickly refined the edges of that trace before we move it to a new background. So I'm going to undo a couple of times, pressing Ctrl Alt Z to undo more than once, to the point I have the selection. Now you can see the disadvantage of this also is that some of the hairs here we had to get them off, so that it's not going to be part of the trace, but the result will come out fine. So with this layer selected, with the selection around the target like this, just come over to your select refine edge. You can see the shortcut. If you also right click over here, you also access the refine edge too. So this will actually allow us to add a little bit of feather to feather the edges. So we can use like 0.5 feather. Because of the hair, we can increase the contrast maybe like 10%, so that we don't make it too much. Now with the refine radius tool, we can actually look at the edges and quickly refine the edges properly. Now if you are doing this, you want to be very, very careful while you are refining this edge. You might end up destroying the trace, you understand? So by the way, by the time you do this the first time, the second time you will have a good understanding of how this works, and you'll find out that it's very, very easy to do this. Alright, now this might take you a little bit of time to refine this edge, but at the end of the day you will get a good result using this refine edge dialog box. Alright, now by the time we click OK, I think the selection has changed and we are having more of a better selection. Now if I press Ctrl J again, the long cut is to go to layer and choose layer via copy. So Ctrl J is actually the shortcut, so I'm going to just make sure this layer is selected, press Ctrl J. Now you can see we have more of a smoother result, but the problem we are having here is that you can see the edges we refine is a little bit much. So by the time I create a layer, fill it with black, we have a little bit of not bad. The result is not bad. If we use white, you can see we lost some of the target. So I want to quickly undo this and undo before the refine edge, and let me show you. The feather was too much. I think that is what caused it. So we are going to use 0.2, maybe have a contrast of 10. So this will allow us to we can also reduce the brush size for the refine radius, so that we can take care of the edges properly. Okay, all right, so I'm going to do this quickly, as quickly as I can. Now like I said, if you do this for the first time, you are gonna have issues because it's the first time you are doing it, but by the time you try this one more time with different examples, you are really gonna get into the way of how this works perfectly, and you'll be glad you did so. Alright, I'm gonna just speed this up a little bit and so that we can move on with it. Alright, this is a little bit okay here. I can undo that last change. Alright, let's click OK and press Ctrl J this time around. So we create a new layer and bring it under, fill it with black background. You can see we have more of a smoother result this time around. Now by the time you've removed this image, and if we use, let's see how white will look on it. Okay, white is very okay. Now if black and white, or maybe we change the color, so we'll come over here and maybe fill it with red. You can see not bad, so everything look very much clean and smooth. Now another thing you can do is to come over to this place, because by the time you do this, you might still have some few problems that you might want to refine, maybe on the hair side. There are so many ways we can fix some of the problems on the hair side, but this is pretty much a basic tutorial, and with this result you can get going with this result. I'm going to make another tutorial on how to remove image from a background in a more advanced way, concentrating on the hair aspect of the image. So keep watching, and I hope I'll see you soon on that tutorial, and I will solve a lot of issue that has to do with more of a complex background. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, kindly subscribe and leave your comment as well on the comment box below. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.